Oh, God dang it. Jesus Christ. Thanks for moving over the smallest amount possible. We're gonna die here.
What's up, guys? Today we're going to take the FXR for his first ride in town. Alright, on the last video you saw this thing kind of struggle to go to the store and back. We're going to take this through town. I think it'll make it. I think what this bike needs more than anything is just putting some miles on it and see what this thing can do. I will say I think we're gonna try and stop at a parts store so we can hopefully fix that. There might be getting some air and moisture into the breather through that. It's almost burnt all the way through. If we can get a small little hose to fix that, that'd be great. Other than that, we're gonna go to a buddy's house, mainly because I want to have a destination at somebody's place, because if we break down, we can call for help. But let's hop on this thing and see how she does.
All right, guys, let's see what happens. Cold start. Again, it's not exactly cold out here. 2 pumps. She made me nervous there for a minute. All right, we're gonna let it idle for a second and then we'll take off. All right, guys, we're doing it. I will say there is something to be said about the Evo transmissions. This thing shifts pretty smooth. Like, I'm used to more of a clunk with the twin cam and M8 I have. Like, you can definitely feel that shelf where it's like clunk. But here it's pretty smooth. So smooth that when I first rode it, I didn't even realize if it was shifting or not, especially shifting up. The shifter is a little too low for me, so shifting up is a little harder to do, but it can still be done. It's just a little low, so I put any pressure at all, I'm already into the next gear, and I gotta dip my foot down pretty low. But all that is adjustable, not a big deal. Brakes seem to be working okay. Everything's pretty good. The left mirror is not real happy. Definitely need a new one of those. But yeah, everything's doing pretty good. I don't want to jinx anything. We are not going to take this thing on the highway. Going where I normally go to my buddy's house, I would hit the highway for one exit to another. But it is a left entry, meaning you're merging onto the left lane, and in that spot you gotta be rolling. I mean, if you ain't going 80 miles an hour, you're gonna get run over. Man, this thing is responsive. I'll give it that. This thing wants to go. It's got an SNS carb and an SNS intake. Other than that, I know nothing about the engine. I don't see any markings. I don't know if it's got a cam. I don't know if any engine work's been done. No idea. But something this old, who knows? yeah, she's doing pretty good. I'm wondering, once I start riding it and put some heat cycles on it, if she's going to start showing some problems. Kind of hope not, but that's not really up to me, is it? It's kind of up to the FXR. I will say I still want to get rid of it. I'm not digging the dash setup at all, and looking at the tank and center dash and gauges that I would want, I mean, I'm going to be into it for at least $1,000. That is just insane. That is crazy. So that, plus it having a blonde engine and it being single disc up front, I mean, I could probably look over any one of those things, but when you put it all together, the bike itself is just not 100% what I was hoping for. So I feel like it's a little better if I kind of take my money and run, almost. It's not like I'm going to make a boatload of money on this bike, but I'm into it really good. I've already learned a decent amount. It's my first FXR, so I kind of know what I want, and there are some deals to be had. So I feel like I'm better off. I could be biting myself in the ass, but I feel like I'm better off if I get rid of this, maybe make a few $100, pass it on to the next guy for a good deal, and then wait for something that I'm really looking for. Especially maybe when it starts getting a little towards the fall and winter season. I think I might be able to find what I want to do. But until then, we're going to enjoy this thing. Well, it's not looking good, guys. She ain't happy. There's a gas station up here. We're gonna try to make it to the gas station. But she is not happy under load. Keep the camera rolling just so y'all can see what happens. But here's the gas station. We're gonna make it. I hope it's just bad gas. I'll be honest with you, I'm a terrible person. I've not drained this gas tank and I don't know how old this gas is. I would assume old dude put fresh gas in, but I have no idea. I'm a terrible person. But we made it. Thank God we made it. It's definitely got gas in it, but we're gonna try to top it off just to get some more fresh gas in there, because I have no idea what's in there. Dude said he took the carburetor and everything, completely cleaned it and did all that stuff. But I don't know. So hopefully this helps. See if it runs any better now. So we'll see what happens. I don't think the other tanks are sectioned, so I just assumed this one wasn't. And I thought maybe it just had the two fill tanks for style. I don't know. But this one was completely full, which I'm assuming is the reserve section, if it is sectioned. and this would be the primary, because with this one being pretty much full and me putting almost 3.5 gallons in it, maybe I'm just an idiot. That's probably it. Okay, I can 100% confirm the suspension on this thing is terrible. I just went over my first set of railroad tracks and the back bottomed out so easy. Yeah, that kind of hurt my back. I was not expecting that at all. So this thing's probably a little low, and I never measured the shocks we have on here. This thing's a little low, and yeah, those shocks are probably worn out. No suspension travel at all. I know I'm not a small dude, but it shouldn't have done that. Alright, we made it to the parts store. I wanted to replace the hose that goes from here to the breather. This is the one that's, you know, seen better days. I brought it in, told her to cut one exactly the same size. Way too long. Way too long. I understand she probably cut it a little longer, just in case it was too short. But I don't feel like going back in there and waiting. This took far too long as it did. My buddy's house is only a couple miles away. So we're just going to ride it like it is, and it's going to be fine. Alright, normally on this road I'd be super excited to ride fast. But with this thing, I am not super excited right now. I know the suspension is questionable at best, and I don't want to ride these twisties, especially with the bike doing this. I'm wondering if it's bad gas. I keep trying to cycle through reserve and regular just to see if we can keep this thing running. The reserve was, if this is a split tank, the reserve was completely full and the regular side was almost empty. So maybe it's just gummed up. I don't know. It definitely feels like a fuel delivery problem, but it's definitely doing better in the standard position. So, because as soon as I switch it to reserve and give it a minute, it just starts going to shit. But if our reserve's full, we either need to drain the tank or try to get that to run out, or at least down far enough where maybe I can use some octane booster and help this thing out and get this thing ran through, because at this point I don't even want to clean the carb. Man, this thing sounds great, doesn't it? I'm probably gonna blow the motor up or some shit. Alright, let's just let it run single pace. We're back in standard position and see it does better. We're going to flip it back into reserve. It's starting to break up a little bit. Breaking up more. We're going to switch it back into the standard position. And it smooths out. So yeah, I think the fuel we have in here is just trash. It's still kind of breaking up. The ignition could be going bad in it. I don't know enough about these things. But we're at our buddy's house, thankfully. Okay.
Alright, we're gonna head home here shortly. We got the new hose installed, no holes, far away from the exhaust, should be fine. We did mess around with the fuel, and now I know why it's running really bad with the on reserve. We took this hose off and tried to drain the reserve side. Now I know why it's super full, because it doesn't work. No fuel comes out during reserve, but it sure does in the on position. So not sure what's going on there. I think if we just run a bunch of fuel through it, I think it'll be fine.
Okay, so lesson learned. We were probably definitely running out of gas over here. And why the problem did not correct itself over here is because the petcock is not letting anything out on the reserve side. So more than likely we probably have a tank that needs to be cleaned and lined maybe, or we just need all this bad gas out, kind of be flushed, and hopefully it'll be okay. I'm very curious to see how it does just riding it. Now that I think we have mostly good gas over here, I know not to put it in reserve on this side, and we'll see how it goes. If my guess to have this thing running tip-top shape minus reserve not working, we probably need to run it full of gas, put like some stabilizer or something through it. But once all that is done and the fuel delivery to the carburetor is done, carburetor probably would need to come back off and be completely cleaned again, just to be sure she's good to go. But she's running okay right now, so I'm gonna call it fixed. But still don't think I'm gonna keep her. I think I'd much rather send her on her way and just pass the deal along to somebody else and let them have fun with it. I did look at the shocks. I had the bags off for a second, and I looked at the shocks, and you can collapse them so easy. I'm sure these are the original shocks. They're short, and they're just worn out. But you can still have fun with this thing. Let's see if we can make it home without breaking down. Wish me luck. We decide to sit in traffic instead of go on the highway, because as much as it was bogging down, I don't really want to be merging onto a highway where most people are going 85, 90 miles an hour, and this thing cut off on me. So we're going to deal with some traffic in some downtown areas on the way home, but hey, it is what it is. It's going to allow this thing to heat up and show its issues. You know what? I don't even know if the horn works. I don't want to hit it right now because I'm sure the person in front of me probably be mad. But we need to try that later. I'm just curious. But it's a motorcycle. Motorcycles don't need horns. The front end's not terrible. It felt pretty decent on some of those windy roads. It didn't scare me, so that's not bad. You could definitely tell, like, it was ready to wiggle at any moment. Like right now, it kind of does the wiggle. Yeah, I think it's just a touch too loose. It's not far off, just a touch. And then I think front end wise, probably pretty decent. I'm sure the fluid and all that stuff probably needs to be changed. But I mean, still, for what we have into this bike, it really isn't bad. I think this bike needs to be almost done like a suspension chopper. Like, not chop it up completely, still use the suspension, and just kind of make a cool, like, you know, Harley Davidson the Marlboro Man, just a cool bike. That's not what I'm looking for. So we're still probably going to switch it up. But I will say, the more I ride it, the better this bike goes. It is responding pretty well to being ridden. So happy about that. Alright, here we are at a gas station because it doesn't want to run. Let's see if we can get it and keep it running. shall try again. Nothing like pulling out in traffic with a bike you can't trust. You know what I'm saying? Okay, here we are. Stranded at a church parking lot. I do not know what is going on with this thing at all. I'm wondering if these plug wires are any good. He did say he put a new coil in this thing. I have no idea. This plug wire doesn't feel good, like it's on the plug all the way. But man, I'm not that far from home. I just want to be home at this point. And see, then it just runs halfway fine. I'm wondering if these wires are no good. I wonder if there's a problem with one of them. There's gotta be. This is a terrible spot to be, I'm not gonna lie. This really is a bad spot. Will we make it home? Will we die on the highway? We don't know. I should probably be in the right lane so I can ditch into a parking lot or a ditch. Oh man, I really hope I make it home. See, it seems like it's doing just fine. Kind of. Oh, God dang it. Jesus Christ. Thanks for moving over the smallest amount possible. We're gonna die here. I'm determined to blow this thing up or make it home. At this point, I just want to coast for a minute as far as I can go and just see what happens. It's almost comical at this point. And then like people are kind of like riding my ass. It's like, yo, you see me struggling. No, my turn signals don't work. I don't think I can even do hazards. I don't know. But this is a dangerous place to be currently. Damn it. Alright, we're pushing it to the gas station. Oh, I've had enough. I'm tired of this. Whew. Alright, we're gonna let it sit here for a minute. let it sit in timeout and let it think about what it's done to me. So we're broke down on the side of the road and our wife shows up. What'd you say?
I said that broke down some bitch. Looks like my broke down some bitch.
Well, you ain't wrong. This thing ain't happy. All right, I got lucky enough. I broke down kind of on the way home where my wife would be driving by, and she pulled up and she's like, yep, that one's mine. So we're trying to make it home. She's angry again. She's angry. It's getting hot, and then it just doesn't want to run anymore. I got nothing. I'm gonna have to pull in this driveway here. Well, look what I'm doing, everybody. Pushing the bike. Oh, this is terrible. Wait, we're going downhill. This is better. We're like less than a mile from the house. I'm not giving up. Never say die. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna get home. This FXR be damned. I'm not calling a trailer. I don't have a trailer. So we're gonna make it home one way or another. All right, we pushed this thing half a mile. I guess it cooled off enough for me to crank it up and just rev bomb it and just get it down the road. We were able to pull into the driveway and get it up here. I am exhausted. Thankfully, the wife was coming home and caught me, but your boy's tired. We're just gonna end it here. I have no idea what's wrong with it. We'll figure that out another day. Yes, dinner that's now cold because of me. So, oops. But like this video, subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'm gonna die, but as always, keep it wretched.